Your phone is destroying your brain. Here's the Stoic fix. Seneca warned about it 2,000 years ago. He just didn't know it would fit in your pocket. You picked up your phone. Before you finished reading this sentence, didn't you hear? Is what the average person does 96 times per day. Picks up their phone, not to call someone, not to check something important. Just picks it up, out of habit, out of boredom, out of a nervous system so conditioned to the dopamine hit of a notification that it reaches for the device before the conscious mind has even made a decision. 96 times, every single day. And the average screen time sits at just under 7 hours. 7 hours of your one life every day handed to a device that was specifically engineered to make you unable to put it down. This is not a video telling you to throw your phone in a river. Your phone is a tool. The problem is not the tool. The problem is that the tool has been using you, and you didn't notice it happening because it happened one notification at a time. Seneca saw this coming. 2,000 years ago, before electricity, before screens, before the internet, he identified the exact mechanism that your phone exploits. He called it the theft of attention. And he said it was the most dangerous theft a person could experience, because you can get money back. You cannot get time back. Before we get to the fix, let's look at what your phone is actually doing to your brain. Because this isn't about opinion or lifestyle preference. This is neuroscience. And the numbers are worse than most people realize. 96. Average daily phone pickups, most without a reason. 7 Hrs. Average daily screen time, nearly half your waking life. Prosoche. Average human attention span in 2024, down from 2.5 minutes in 2004. Time to fully refocus after a single interruption. Microsoft research. That last number is the one that should stop you cold. 23 minutes to fully regain deep focus after a single interruption. If you are checking your phone every 15 minutes, and most people do, you are never in deep focus, ever. You are living your entire intellectual and creative life in the shallow end. And you have been doing it so long you've forgotten what the deep end feels like. The mechanism is dopamine, specifically the variable reward system. Your brain releases dopamine not just when you receive a reward, but when you anticipate one. Every time you pick up your phone, there is a chance something interesting is there. That uncertainty that maybe is what makes it compulsive. Slot machines use the same mechanism. Your phone is a slot machine you carry in your pocket and check 96 times a day. And here's the part nobody talks about. The cost is not just your time. It is your capacity for thought. Deep, original, connected thought. The kind that produces real ideas, real insight, real creativity, requires sustained, uninterrupted attention. Every time you fragment that attention, you are not just losing minutes. You are losing the ability to think at the level you were built for. Seneca warned about it 2,000 years ago. He just didn't know it would fit in your pocket. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius about what he called the greatest danger to the philosophical life, not poverty, not illness, not enemies, distraction, the constant, low-level noise of other people's demands, opinions, and entertainment that prevents a person from ever sitting alone with their own thoughts long enough to think anything worth thinking. He described the Rome of his time, the noise of the baths, the marketplace, the constant social obligations, as a machine designed to keep a person perpetually occupied and therefore perpetually shallow. He prescribed what he called Otium, protected periods of deliberate solitude and silence where the mind could work without interruption. The Stoics also practiced what Marcus Aurelius called Prosoche, attention to the self, the deliberate, continuous act of guarding where your attention goes, because they understood something modern neuroscience is only now quantifying. You become what you repeatedly attend to. Your attention is not just a resource, it is the architecture of your character. Retire into yourself as much as you can. Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. The process is mutual. Men learn while they teach. Seneca had no phone. He had no social media, no notifications, no algorithm. And he still found it necessary to write entire letters about protecting his attention from the noise of the world. If he were alive today and could see 7 billion people carrying personalized distraction machines in their pockets, I think he would weep and then write the most important letter he ever wrote. This video is that letter, or the closest thing to it. What your phone does. Fragments attention into 47-second windows, trains the brain to expect constant stimulation, destroys the capacity for deep thought, replaces boredom, which is where creativity lives, with endless shallow content, steals hours disguised as minutes, What Stoicism offers. Prosoche, deliberate attention guarding. Otium, protected periods of solitude. The voluntary practice of sitting with discomfort without reaching for stimulation. The recovery of your own mind as the most interesting place you can be. Here are 5 habits, built directly from Stoic philosophy, that will begin to restore your attention. Not a digital detox, not throwing your phone away. A system, starting today. 1. The morning hour. No phone for 60 minutes. Prosoche. The first hour of the morning belongs to you, not to the algorithm. Before you open any app, any message, any notification, give your brain 60 minutes of uninterrupted ownership of itself. This is Stoic Prosoche in its most practical form. The deliberate decision about where your attention goes before the world tries to make that decision for you. In that hour, journal, read, think, move, plan. Anything that is yours. The phone can wait. Everything that feels urgent. In that first notification check will still be there in 60 minutes, and you will meet it as a different person, one whose mind belongs to them, not to a feed. It is not that I am brave. It is that I value something else more than fear. 2. Scheduled Otium. 1 hour of deliberate silence daily. Seneca, Otium. Seneca prescribed Otium, sacred, protected time for the mind to work without interruption. Schedule 1 hour every day where you do one thing only. No background music, no podcast, no second screen. Just the one thing and your full attention on it. This will feel deeply uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is withdrawal, evidence of how conditioned your brain has become to constant stimulation. Push through the discomfort. The Stoics called sitting with discomfort, without reaching for relief, voluntary hardship, and they believed it was essential training for the mind. After 2 weeks of daily Otium, your capacity for deep focus will begin to return. After a month, you will not recognize the quality of your own thinking. Withdraw into yourself, as far as you can, with those who will make you better. 3. The Boredom Practice. Sit with nothing for 10 minutes. Voluntary discomfort. Every day, once a day, sit somewhere with no phone, no book, no music, no content. Just sit for 10 minutes. Do nothing. Think whatever comes. Let the boredom arrive fully and do not reach for anything to escape it. This is the single most powerful attention rehabilitation practice available, and it costs nothing except the willingness to be uncomfortable. Boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is where your brain consolidates information, generates creative connections, and produces original thought. Every great idea you have ever had came in a moment of unoccupied mind, in the shower, on a walk lying in bed. You are training yourself to access that state deliberately rather than accidentally. Never have I trusted fortune, even when she seemed to offer peace. All those blessings which she kindly bestows on me, money, status, influence, I have set aside. 4. Attention Audit. Track where your mind actually goes. Marcus Aurelius, self-examination. Marcus Aurelius examined his own mind every evening, not his actions, his attention. Where did his thoughts go today? What did he give his mind to? What was worth it and what was not? Do this for 1 week. Every evening, write down 3 things you gave significant attention to today. Then ask honestly, did those things deserve that attention? Would the person you want to be spend their attention there? Most people have no idea where their attention actually goes until they audit it. The audit is not to create shame, it is to create choice. You cannot direct something you cannot see. See it first, then direct it. Confine yourself to the present. 5. The phone fast, 1 full day per week. Seneca, voluntary poverty. Seneca practiced voluntary poverty, 1 day per week, where he lived as if he had nothing. To prove to himself that he was not owned by what he had, apply this to your phone. 1 day per week. The phone stays home or stays in a drawer or stays off. Not forever, 1 day, to prove to yourself that you are not owned by it. The first time you do this will feel like an emergency. That feeling is data. It tells you exactly how dependent you have become on external stimulation for your basic sense of well-being. The Stoics called this owned, when a thing has more control over you than you have over it. The phone fast is how you take the control back. 1 day, every week, non-negotiable. Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest fare, and with coarse clothing, saying to yourself, is this what I was afraid of? 5 habits. 1 system, built by philosophers who understood 2,000 years ago what neuroscientists are only now measuring, that attention is not just a resource, It is the substance of your life. What you attend to is what you become. What you give your mind to is what your mind becomes. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a great deal of it." He was talking about the noise of Rome. He was talking about your phone. He was talking about the 7 hours a day and the 96 pickups and the 47-second attention span and the 23 minutes of recovery time that never comes. Because the next interruption arrives first. You are not a person with a short attention span. You are a person with a hijacked one, and hijacked things can be recovered. Starting today. Starting with habit 1. 60 minutes tomorrow morning with your phone across the room. Subscribe if this is the video you needed today. Drop a comment. Which of the 5 habits are you starting with? I read every single one. And share this with one person who needs to hear it. Because the greatest act of generosity right now might be helping someone get their mind back. See you in the next one.